So today's video is going to be, I know I'm wearing a Christmas hat, I just thought I'd put in the effort seeing as it was Christmas. And I also have my cup of tea as usual, which is quite a full cup of tea. So we're going to be ranking all the dances on the next step done to the same song. Basically how this video is going to work is I'm going to take all the dances done by the same song and decide what the best video is. Which one's the best. Mocking Ariana 3 did this video, so go subscribe to her. The way I'm basing this is going to do with the best on dance, that is the best dancer. To do with theme, quality of choreo, plot of the dance, connection if it's a duet, connection to music, connection to your partner, chemistry, all that kind of stuff. Auditions don't count, so I'm not going to be doing that alternate auditions and the A-side group dance, because how can you compare that? I'm not going to be doing all of them, so if you want a part 2, comment down below, because then I know what you want. It's going to be objective rather than subjective. Basically, I won't be picking the winning team as the best and the losing dance below it. It will make sense probably when we get further into this video. First one is Addicted to You. This song was used in the season 1 group dance, Michelle and Riley's duet, Alfie and Piper's duet, and Riley and Alfie's duet. And the winner is I'm just sort of checking. That one. The season 1 group dance. I put Michelle and Riley's duet at the bottom because it was basically just the same choreography from season 1 group dance. I will admit they did the choreo well considering it hadn't been done on the show for ages. It's a fun dance, pretty laid back duet, just having fun, remembering their past, having a good time, all that kind of stuff. I liked how it was like two friends dancing together. With this duet, kind of isn't much to say about it, so it has had to be bottom. Next is Piper and Alfie's duet, which it was the same choreo as Riley and Alfie. I felt Riley and Alfie had more chemistry than Piper and Alfie. Piper and Alfie, it was more dancing rather than a connection. Ryan and Alfie, you could tell they were connected with each other and had good chemistry. I liked the lifts because Alfie is good at lifting. Piper didn't really show much emotion, kind of. I just don't think it was Piper's best duet with anybody. Number 2 is Riley and Alfie's duet. I felt like this duet was very effortless, which I liked how effortless it was and how much chemistry is there. It was close to getting top position. I felt like there could have been better choreography. Riley could have done a little bit more. I nearly would give this top position over the season 1 group dance, but I felt like in the season 1 group dance it was generally a better dance. And finally, top position is the season 1 group dance. I love the energy, the commitment, dedication, all those factors paid off. I think this dance they could have won regionals with. Loved all the different moves, how well they worked together. I also loved they were having a good time, really enjoying themselves. Just generally a good dance. Yeah. I do apologise if my eyes are watering. I'm allergic to air freshener, basically. Air freshener that you put in a room. You've probably seen them in the vlog, so my eyes are a little bit runny today. Next song we are going to talk about Stand Up. Stand Up was used in Season 1, Season 5 and Season 7, all group dance. Top position is Season 5, not Season 1 the original, probably going to be a bit controversial, so moving on. I put Season 1 group dance last because I didn't really like it. Like, I liked it in the episode, but I didn't like it when looking back on it now. Like, I don't watch it again on YouTube. I don't do that. I've watched Season 5 group dance loads of times on YouTube. The dance was all about Michelle and Alden, and when everyone else was involved, it felt like everyone else was just running around them. The theme was meant to be Romeo and Juliet. I didn't see two opposite sides. They should have done two coloured costumes rather than everybody looking completely different. The plot didn't really feel there enough. When it was just Michelle and Alden, it was very slow. Like, I swear they used slow motion in that dance because it felt like it went on forever. It just lacked a lot of connection apart from the unison parts, which for me was the best bits. Moves in the dance got lost. Giselle did something really impressive with Riley, and I think that just got lost. It's not until you keep rewatching it you see all the bits and it makes sense. Some people you could not see for a long period of time. Emily, Stephanie, Chloe, they were all quite hidden. Next, I'd put the Season 7 group dance. Loved the season. I loved Season 7 B Troop and the mixture of dance styles. Season 7, I loved the mixture of styles coming together, which it was probably my favourite bit, how they had some tutting. Not that I can actually tut, I really can't. Everybody was showing off their talent. I liked how even though Paisley wasn't the lead dancer, she was acting like she was, which I loved. I found in a way there were loads of different things, which I loved. I found in a way there were loads of things you would see in a typical A Troop dance rather than being a B Troop, stepping up to what A Troop couldn't do. I liked it, but I think Show You How was better because it was a B Troop dance rather than B Troop trying to be like A Troop. Top position, Season 5 version. I love how everyone just mixed with everybody. I felt like a team that I'd love to be dancing with, which is nice to see. Team which loved dancing together, which was so nice to see as well. I'd probably like to have joined them. I loved that it was not predictable dance. Loved the unison sections, really fitted together, really built up. The end bit showed that they were a team. The thing I would say was the unisections you see, as much as it was good, the unison sections could have been different, harder. I loved the routine. Next is Heartbreaker, and the winner is Giselle and Talia. Riley and James, let's talk about first. Every time they did this duet, they would argue. There was a lot of anger emotion. James didn't really do a lot. They didn't look at each other. choreo was messy, didn't fit together. There were other duets that were better than this one. They were at different ends of the room, less they needed to do a lift. It matched the plot and it wouldn't win nationals. Riley did go for it. James, I felt, didn't do much. Next is Giselle and Talia. They were together tight clean, which I loved. One of my favourite dances of season 2 was this one. And the moves were complicated, which they pulled off. Complemented each other so well, I loved it. Can't really say too much more. Then we're on to Never Get Lost, which was I had put as the winner the boys' small group from nationals. Hunter's solo was good because there were not loads of tricks. As he said, he was really focusing on a lot more core hip hop, so that aspect was good. Hunter could have done a bit more, like it was quite samey. He could have done more, like he could have added like another couple of tricks and he would have still been okay. Would have still been focusing on core hip hop, so I didn't like it that much. I preferred the boys' small group. The boys' hip hop number, on the other hand, I couldn't fault it 100%. Fantastic chemistry. Nothing more to say to it. Then we have Oxygen. I liked it a lot. Bottom, I put Cooper's solo. I feel like Cooper matched the song quite well, but it was not my favourite dance of season 4 because the tricks were good. It was very samey, like of moves, very boring, nothing special. This was also not quite as confident dance. Looked down at the floor a lot. I'm not gonna slag off Guy Reese that much because I know that he came from taking the next step to the next step, and that is quite nerve-wracking. His tricks cannot be knocked, but I have seen them 100 times already, so didn't feel impressive as when I first saw it. As much as I love the dance, and then I'm moving on to another dance. Next one was the Oxygen Trio, Michelle, Rochelle and Amanda. As much as I love this dance, the Oxygen Trio, I feel like the song didn't fit the dance in a way. I feel like the dance was not the level of the song. The only reason it was memorable was because the song was called Oxygen. I did like the formation changes, I liked the level changes, I feel Amanda had never danced that way before, so it was nice to see something different from her. I feel like that could have been more recognised. I feel like Amanda should have been in the trio in a way because it was so good. Above that, I've got Noah's solo. I love Noah's solo, so good to see how far he'd come in that dance. I loved how Noah had good energy and maintained that. Noah is on top of his game. There's loads of walking, but it aligned together and really worked together, especially as it was a sad solo. Like in a sad solo, you'd walk around a lot. Second place is Alden's national solo. I love the storyline to Alden's national solo and how he switches from contemporary hard-hitting to hard-hitting hip-hop to at the end taking a big deep breath. 100% energy and effort. First place is Noah and Alden's duet. Oh my goodness, it's so amazing. I feel like they should have been given the Internationals duet. The bits when they were in sync are executed so well. They do the same moves really well, they complement each other so well. Then we have Play the Game. The winner is Giselle's solo. I feel like Noah and Rochelle's duet could have added more tricks as much as they gel and complement each other well. The reason why I picked Giselle because I loved her flips, how she was on top of her game, pardon me, how much energy she had throughout. She really showed her personality, loved how good at contemporary she is. Then we have Smile at the End of the World. Bottom is the tap contemporary hip hop duet. I felt like more could have been added. It felt a bit lacking in a way. It wasn't a memorable dance. The only reason it's kind of memorable now is because it's in season 7. Once we've had season 8, 9, 10, it's gonna get forgotten. I've seen both dances better than in this dance. I've seen both better dances than this dance was. Lifts were a bit awkward. You can tell that Grace is quite awkward with lifting, you can tell. Would have been nice to see the tap. Next is opening dance of season 2. It's an okay dance. I feel like with group dances, the next step has moved on a lot and got better with this. I like the unison section, so I feel like Coming Home in season 3 group dance was better. I found this dance so boring compared to other dances. Like, my favourite group dance is probably Coming Home. I'd rather see in the solo bits Emily and Amanda do different things, because they did turning leaps and then they kicked, which was nice. But it'd be nice to see their individual talents. First place is LaToy, Henry and Skylar. I love this dance. I love the hip hop. The energy was good. Didn't feel awkward. I love how the formations changed. I love the dynamics to this dance. I feel like the boys could have done more, like it was a bit lacking on their bit. Because it felt like the trio was about Skylar rather than everybody showing off their individual talents. And also Smile at the End of the World isn't really a hip hop song, so I feel like they could have been better had they chosen a hip hop song. Next is Tied to You. Third place is Winnie and Heath's duet. I didn't like it when I first saw it in the episode. I don't really like it now, still today. Found it quite boring. Didn't show Winnie or Heath's talent enough. Like, I saw Winnie do better things in other dances. Like, I like the Legions of Lasers theme dance. Why did they not include some of Winnie's better moves? The turns I felt were lazy and slow. They should have gone really fast in the turns, like gone full out turns. My opinion, it was wooden, it was stiff, the lifts were a bit all over the shop. Not a very structured routine. Next is Riley and James. I know Jiley fans are gonna come at me for that. Riley and James, it's basically the same dance as Beth and James's choreo. The chemistry was good, it wasn't special. I feel like their whirlwind dance was better and their flying dance was better. The lifts were good in the dance, but it was chaotic at times and didn't flow so well. I felt a little bit underwhelmed. They didn't complement each other quite as well. They did complement each other, I mean. Top one is Beth and James's duet. I felt like this was a good routine. I didn't hate it because they tried really hard to work well together. Beth and James are such good performers. Energy was amazing. I know Beth did struggle a bit with the hip hop section of choreo, but I felt like their version was better because there was more energy. Next is When the War is Over, and I know this one's probably going to be a bit of a debate. Bottom place I've put Summer. I feel like Summer did a few interesting moves, but generally quite boring. A lot of walking around suggesting it was such a sad solo. But then a solo for Dance Mania, I found one more move impressive. The rest were normal, predictable moves. The one I'm basing it on is in the episode because I've checked YouTube and there's no extended dance. It's not as good as the solo was made out to be by everybody. So I feel like Rochelle should have gone to Dance Mania. If you watch any of my videos, you'll probably know that. Next one above is Giselle. I love how Giselle... I love Giselle's routine. And how it's not normal Giselle's routine, and how she had more contemporary elements than just all her acro tricks flung together. Giselle's technique was on point. She was not lost in the stage, and the stage at internationals is big. The thing with the solo was it was an average routine. Wow factor wasn't there. I liked her costume. I know that probably most people probably don't, but I do. And this is all only my opinion, so. Second is Riley's point solo. I love how different it was and how Riley in season 2 especially tried to show she was more than just some contemporary dancer. She had fantastic technique, couldn't knock on that, but the one thing I would say is she let Emily get to her head. I know it was planned, but compared to the top spot, she wasn't as clean. I feel like she gave 100% to this solo. I loved it. It was a complex routine and had contemporary as well as point. It's a good solo, but my top slot is my favourite dance. You will find out my reasons why. Top places, no surprise if you've watched me for a long time, is Amanda. I was wowed by this solo. I love how impressive it was, how different it was, how I'd never seen Amanda dance like this. It was good. I loved her solo. Last song to talk about, Whirlwind. I put Amy's solo as the winner. Let's talk about James and Riley's duet. I loved it because it was ballet, which was Riley's style, and hip-hop, which is James's style. I loved the fusion. But as much as I liked it, it was a typical jiley duet in a way. It wasn't special. The dance would have been wasn't anything new. Whereas the winner had new moves in it. I liked the creativity, I liked the props. Wow factor wouldn't be there without the props, really. What did it for me? Like, I just feel like it wasn't anything different in a way. Like, apart from the point and the hip hop, it wasn't that different. I loved Amy's solo, it was so good. She had different moves, she linked her moves together at the beginning, she linked her moves together, they transitioned nicely, which is my favourite bit of the solo. I liked in the extended version we saw Amy do turns, which I loved. I liked the flip, I liked the aerial, it was a good solo. So if you've enjoyed this video, despite my watery eye, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you with another video. Bye.